This sunrise just keeps getting better and better. I don't think I could ever get tired of seeing this every day. I mean, look at this. Unreal. The sky just keeps getting more and more fuchsia and red. Should we be warned? The sea state's getting a little swelly, but nothing crazy. Another beautiful morning. We've been so blessed. God, I'm feeling kind of sad about this coming to an end. But we're gonna have such a beautiful summer. This trip has been so awesome, and really just feel so content and happy out here. I think if we were to run into some bad weather, then we'd probably feel it more, like feel more ready to be done. But we've been super lucky. There was going to be a storm potentially following us in, so we'll be arriving perfect timing. Still early, you know.
It's my turn to be awake. It's my turn to be awake, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. You sound pretty awake.
Yeah, you can go to sleep. I'm pretty awake.
Well, the no weather could only last for so long. So today we have weather. A little bit. We got a bit of wind. We got about 15 knots right now, gusting up to about 20. So we're reefed for when that happens. We're heading downwind, so it's a little harder to reef running downwind. So got to reef very early. And it started raining. So we got all the isinglass all closed up, hatches shut. It's beautiful ahead of us, less beautiful behind us. It's just kind of a gray mass behind us. I just got an updated weather forecasting, and it looks like we may have fog for part of this trip. I'm really hoping that if there is fog, it's now, not in a couple days when we're getting closer to the Azores, because it'd be a bummer to not be able to see them. And just all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're there, instead of being able to see them from, like a day off. I think that was kind of the end of the wind. Whoa. But the swell has found us. Looking at the latest weather, the wind's gonna die completely by kind of end of day tomorrow, which is really unfortunate. And that's gonna die right before, because there's a kind of a system coming in from the west. So I think there's a good chance we end up motoring starting tomorrow, and because I think we want to get there before midday Tuesday, because it looks like it doesn't look nasty weather, but it doesn't look like weather I necessarily care to be in if we don't have to. So I'm just kind of what's the word? Preparing myself for probably a day and a half of motoring. It's just unfortunate. It's tough to come this far having sailed. We've motored the total of 1 hour this entire trip. So it's kind of a shame to have gone, over 16 days, to have sailed 16 of 16 days basically, and then to have to end it with the motor. It's almost worth it just to suck it up and just be becalmed for an entire day and then get slammed with wind, just for the pride of it. But I think I'll probably end up turning on the motor. We'll see. Good morning, Jade.
Hi.
How are you?
I think I need a little more sleep, but I think I'm up for now.
Okay.
But I came out and I was just telling Brett, because he pointed it out like a couple weeks ago, and I can't get the concept out of my head. But he pointed out that when you're dreaming, it's interesting because one part of your brain is creating the storyline, and the other part of the brain is being surprised to see it.
Like, it's all happening in your head. Your head's doing all of that. So last night, like just now, the last dream that I had before I woke up, I was watching a TikTok video of a woman reading an illustrated children's book out loud. So my brain not only made like the TikTok idea, but also wrote and illustrated a children's book and created a character, human, to read it to me. And then the other part of my brain was like, that's a really profound children's story. It was all happening in my head instead of sleeping. I dream a lot. I wish I dreamt less so I got better sleep. If anybody has any tips for that, I would love that. But in the meantime, I have wild dreams.
It's a little bit rainy, but we still have wind, cruising along at 6.5. It's coming for us. Actually, the wind is coming this way, so there's a chance it just kind of scoots right next to us, and that's why we get all this, just this spattering of rain. See how lucky we get, because right behind us it looks really nice. And that doesn't look bad at all. Over here, that just looks wet. No lightning, no thunder, just wet. But this way, looks pretty nice. We've sprung some leaks. We've had a bit of a weather check, updating routing, looking at our different options, and it looks like we really are going to get becalmed for pretty much the second half of Monday and all the beginning of Tuesday if we continue as we are. And then we will get a huge rush of wind on Tuesday, kind of, yeah, throwing us into Horta.
I don't know what's going on in the North Sea right now, but I'm glad we're not there. We are right here.
No,
nope. We are right here, entering this high sea state warning area right now. And this right here is Horta. That's our destination. So when we press play here, you can see we've got some good wind on the beam carrying us there. But we can't sail quite that fast, which means that we will end up in that blue. That blue, and then that purple.
And that means less wind, so that just went from 8 knots down to 2 knots. So that purple is 2 knots right now. So we're not moving.
Yeah,
1 knot.
2 knots. Yeah, 2 knots is not enough for us to sail.
That's just uncomfortable.
So we would just be bobbing around, waiting for this guy to come up behind us, and then we would be kind of engulfed by that wind right there. So basically, once we get to this becalmed area, we're gonna have to motor because it'll be way too uncomfortable to just sit there in the high seas. We'll just be getting pummeled by the waves. We just rolled around too much because we won't have any wind stability in our sails. So we'll have to motor through this area. So to save money and to save fuel, it would make more sense for us to motor sail starting now. So then what we're doing is we're pairing our engine with the power of the wind. So we're using both the power of the engine and the power of the wind. It's a lot more fuel efficient, and we can run our engine at a lot lower RPMs. So basically we'll turn the engine on and run it like a little bit, and that'll give us more speed. So instead of going 5 knots, we maybe go like 7 or 8 knots. And by doing that, we'll be able to stay with the wind. So we'll just
at least a lot
continue to motor sail. Instead of 100% motoring, we'll motor sail for 2 days instead of like motoring 100% for 1 day, if that makes sense. So
pretty much.
Right here at the very end of our leg, we're going to finally turn on the engine.
Yep.
Right at the end.
I was going to say, let's be clear, we don't need to motor. We could wait, and we could wait for that wind, or we could go way south and get that band of wind. We could.
And if we didn't have an engine, if it wasn't reliable, if we were concerned about it, if we didn't have enough fuel, whatever, we could do that and we'd be just fine. We have the food, we have the water, we'd be fine.
I think the biggest thing is that we're almost there, and this passage has been amazing, and we've had good weather the entire time, and I just am so ready to pull up to Horta and just see it and for it to be beautiful and just like enjoy the islands. Like I just don't care. I don't care to arrive after this beautiful journey in a storm.
In a storm, yeah.
It just feels like that would kind of put a damper on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the unveiling of seeing land ho. Like I'm willing to motor sail for a couple days for that. For that to be like the moment I want it to be.
Yep, so swallow our pride of sailing the entire way across the Atlantic, turn the engine, and
We'll get there.
finish strong.
Yeah. Real strong.
Real strong.
It's a little dreary, but it's still nice.
It's actually like foggy up ahead.
How's it feel?
Breaks my heart.
Does it really?
No.
If you really want to just not, I'm
don't-
okay with it.
I don't want to bob around in no wind for 24 hours.
I feel like we're gonna end up turning it on anyway.
If we were on day like 10, I mean we did do that. But being this close to the end and then knowing that there's some nasty weather right behind us, it's not worth not motoring in my opinion at this point.
Go, because we want to make sure we get really set on our anchor.
Yeah, so we definitely want to get there, get somewhere secure. I don't know if we haven't figured out what we're doing yet. If we're going to just be on anchor, if we can get a mooring ball or a slip, but that's on probably today's agenda is figuring all that out.
I think my preference is mooring.
If we can get one, yeah, a ball.
Yeah. So what was our boat speed before and what is it now?
We were at 5 before and now we're between 6.5 and 7.5, depending on the wave.
Is the engine at a low RPM?
Yeah, we're only at like 1,200 RPMs.
Nice.
So
nice.
hardly anything.
Cool.
So at 1,200 RPMs, we're only burning about a gallon an hour, so we could motor like this for days.
I just got some of the best dingo cuddles of my life. Oh, so sweet. Yum. Thank you. Oh.
How's your shower at 10 knots?
We were going 10 knots?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was wondering why you turned off the engine.
we've been motor sailing, and then all of a sudden, Ayana fell out of the chair because we got heeled over so much.
The
And I bumped up for me to end 10 knots. So, and I was here, and I couldn't sit up because we were like,
Yeah. Brett's like, ugh, and I was literally watching the video right here, and the couch started to slide, and I was like this with my headphones trying to keep watching the video.
I didn't notice. I was,
So, yeah.
I was in there shaving.
So I shut off the engine and reefed the head tail.
Should we do our razor sponsor now?
Yeah, really.
I didn't get sliced.
Wow, that's impressive.
Nice. Why do you keep copying me?
I'm just kidding. And I'm about to dye my hair brown too. Once we get there. But that was premeditated. The blonde, I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. It was fun for a little while. It got bleached. Well, I wanted to be like a dark blonde, but then the Bahamas was like, how about platinum?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have not touched it up. I've grown it out a lot because I'm getting ready to dye it brown, but I can't dye my hair on the boat because all of the water on the boat goes into the ocean. So no harsh chemicals. So once we get to like, I've got to stay in like a hotel or an Airbnb or something, or go to an actual hair salon. But until then, but then Ayana and I really are gonna look like sisters again once I'm back to my natural color.
I think
We're
it's
gonna be
look
twins.
really good.
Yeah.
Something about blue hairs and brown eyes. You know what I meant.
Ayana's going blue. Are you thinking like a baby blue for your hair?
You know what? I've been blue before, actually. I have had blue hair and brown eyes, but I meant blue eyes and brown hair.
Oh yeah, we filmed that a little bit. Okay, well the weather that we got was actually just a joke.
That was weather for if we're comparing to everything else we've got. That was a
It like
serious
it
storm.
drizzled this morning for an hour, and now we're back. You'll never guess it.
Hang on, just so we're clear.
To a beautiful day.
Just so we're clear, she says it rained for an hour.
I was asleep.
She was asleep for several of those hours. That it was that hour.
It rained for an hour of my awakeness.
Yes.
It really was not bad.
No, it really wasn't bad
It
at all.
drizzled at sunrise.
Yeah.
And look at the skies now, I'll show you. Beautiful blue. Ah. I was filming and I missed this. Okay.
Dogs went potty for having some brunch. It's a good halfway thing.
It's another lovely day at sea, everybody. Day 16. 16 was a good year for me.
Yeah? Got your driver's license?
Yeah. Got my driver's license. Had my first kiss.
Oh. For your first date?
Went on my first date. 16 was a great year.
Good year.
Yeah. Got my first job. I'm 26. It's been 10 years.
That was a long time.
It's been a decade. I'm almost 26, guys. That was one of the questions people keep asking. How old are you? Vito is 7. Oh, and he's so sleepy.
So you can do it.
Wow, guys, look at how clean our isoglass looks.
From the rain.
Yeah, did you wash it or was
No,
it just
just
rain?
the rain.
Look how clear that is. Go ahead, Penny, go inside. I was excited about the isoglass. Go ahead. Yeah. Wow, you can see through it. I can actually show you the sails.
Just look at this paddleboard. Watch it fill up. Somebody commented from the drone shots and said, hey, it looks like your starboard paddleboard got bit by a shark. It has a small leak that happened in Guatemala. Just from the heat. If you look at some of the seams, they started just melting. I don't think there's anything against the paddleboard and everything about the Guatemala heat.
Yeah, did we ever vlog about that? I think so, when I was fixing the shoes.
Yeah.
The Guatemala heat melted like the adhesives, every adhesive in our boat. Like our foul weather gear got pretty ruined. It's not waterproof anymore. Paddleboards, our shoes all fell apart. So something about Guatemala melted everything.
Yeah, so we filled this up I think like 3 times on this trip, so every few days just kind of put some air back in it.
That it stays put
Yep.
and holds the surfboard in place.
Yep. That's enough.
Did you hear Ayana?
Uh-uh.
She said, I thought you said you weren't going to work out today.
Oh, who said that?
I don't know. Maybe she was talking to somebody on the phone.
Both can be true. I can work out and think it's good for Jade to work out. It's a win-win, really.
So supportive. I've got to be able to keep up with my mom. Okay,
No.
so my mom is flying out. She's going to meet us in the Azores. I feel like she's living her dream life. Because she just keeps getting to fly out and meet us in cool places. So she's going to fly out to the Azores and When? Like in a few days. So
Yeah, like
it
a
was
week.
actually like kind of suspenseful there in the middle when we were sailing so slow because we're like, who's gonna get there first? Like there was a chance there for a while that she was gonna be waiting for us. Anyway, my mom is an avid hiker and she's in really good shape and none of us are. So we're gonna be like going and hiking these mountains in the Azores and my mom is just gonna be like, and we're gonna be like,
Yeah. Here is the only real reason why we can't stay out here much longer. This is our last oat milk.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
Places down
I love that that's what you're worried about and not the fact that we ran out of shampoo this morning.
Who needs? We don't need shampoo.
I washed my hair with body wash.
So
Yeah.
we don't
soap.
even need fresh vegetables. All we need is oat milk in our coffee.
Necessities.
Glad we're all on the same page.
I was just admiring her diagram again. This was originally just a 2, and then we were like, where's the feet? So we added in the heads.
That's our acro yoga trying to make a 2 out of our bodies.
This is our list of things we needed to buy before we departed. We did pretty good.
Now we are starting fresh.
That didn't work at all.
No.
So I'm just over here laughing at her.
How you doing, buddy?
Index?
Yeah, this.
It should be a niche.
Just erasing things on.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it
there's
is.
a TikToker. I don't know if she still does it, but for a while, her whole thing was that she would test out all the different Expo markers brands.
Like test out
Like she would show which ones had the best color. I think she was a teacher.
brace myself.
Woohoo! Perfect.
We have done a really good job at not eating all the good stuff all at once. So it's time. Time to dig into the frozen pizzas.
Definitely.
Now that we have 22 hours until we see sight of land.
Yeah, we had a
apparently.
patron just messaged and said it looks like you're about 22 hours from land.
We were trying to figure
From
out
sight of land.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how close we had to be to start seeing it. So where would that put us, did he say?
I know, and I'm wondering what land he was referring to because we're actually pretty close to, I think it's called Flores, like the first island, but we're not going to that one.
Right.
So we still have like another day after that one.
That's
So I
all
wonder if
anticlimactic.
that's the one we'll see first.
Like, oh my god, land!
There it is. Keep going.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Waving
Bye-bye.
goodbye.
SPF 30 even.
Ooh.
I have officially run out of. I ran out of makeup. That's my color. I have not been in the sun much. I've been wearing sunscreen really well, so I'm a little bit fairer, and I'm no longer have
Did
my
you say you're Farah?
The fairest.
of them all. Yeah, no, I do not have my Bahamas tan anymore, and so Ayana was letting me try out this tinted moisturizer, SPF
Yeah.
30.
I like
It's
it
great.
because it's a good, like, kind of routine thing. Like, you're more likely to put on the makeup, you know what I mean?
Sunscreen.
Yeah, so, and it has the sunscreen in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Fun fact, my very first job was in a pizza restaurant, so I'm gonna
So
make
this
you
is like
perfect
professional
triangles.
cutting going
This
on
is
here.
professional pizza cutting. Just kidding, I did it kind of crooked because this is very difficult on a heel. This is actually not how I should have done it. If I had a
What is
I know. If I
You should
had
not
a-
have led with. I used to work in a pizza restaurant.
If I had a
Oh sure, yeah. Blame the tools.
It's funny because usually I go all the way across, but for some reason I got nervous when he started filming. I'm notorious for really talking up something I can do and then doing it absolutely horrible.
Speaking of that, where is your crochet top?
We're still waiting on that. 3 hours later.
3 hours later.
More like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I know, I just felt like I was wasting a lot of
I
time.
just didn't want to change.
The ukulele showed up and she was like, "This is priority."
Yeah, I have been putting that as my priority. I've never cut a worse pizza. Look at how awful that is. It's like the point
You
of...
did like a,
it's like
a
over
spiral.
That's really funny.
I bet it'll taste good.
It's still gonna taste delicious,
Yep.
yeah. We're all just sitting here dogging this pizza in silence, but we're all like... and they're like... Brett's like falling into Jade, like...
It's so good, but so hot.
Burning my
Yeah.
hand and my mouth at the same
And we're
time.
healing more than we have in days.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. So good.
We're getting along pretty good here. The wind is still sticking around with us, so we're still moving along pretty good. Got about 7 knots. But the swell is now hitting us on the beam and giving us a pretty good roll every now and then. It's nice to have the engine off for a little while, give us a little break. We didn't have enough wind to maintain the speed before, but for whatever reason, we got wind right now, so we're using it all we can. And if the wind dies again, we'll turn the engine back on to kind of maintain the same pace. But it doesn't really make sense to have the engine on right now, because even if we motored really hard, we're not going to go much faster than this, so it really doesn't make sense to motor sail when we're already doing 7 knots. Pretty nice though. We're flying along. Somewhere between 8 and 10 knots. Doing good. Keep it up, wind. The girls are inside learning a new TikTok dance. I'm just getting some fresh air. But this is sailing today. This is amazing. Oh, the calm days have been a lot of fun. It's been nice to be all peaceful and serene. This is fun. You ready to dance?
Yeah. We gotta tether in? Yeah, where's the life jacket at? Behind you.
They're on the counter, they slid. What's the plan?
You like my backwards visor?
You look like you're straight out of like the early 90s. Dang.
I'm ready for my music video.
Yeah, you are. MTV, here you come. All right, plan right now is to film them dancing on deck. So life jackets and tethers, and hopefully no one goes swimming.
Hopefully. We're literally healing more than we have in days.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a good video.
We still have wind. And some waves. You don't have a tether on. Go inside. Good girl. Still doing pretty good. 7.5. 8.2. Heck yeah. The reason that the speed is changing so much is because there's enough swell that we're actually going up
and then down, and then up, and then down. So we're basically going uphill and slowing down, and then we get going downhill and we go faster. Hill, up water, down water. Anyways, yeah, that's basically what's happening. Is we're basically going slower as we go up a wave, and then we surf down it and get an acceleration. So we're going, anywhere from 8.5 to 6.5 to 8.5 knots as we go up and down these waves. And it's such a shame that the camera does. The camera just does not do proportions. Like, I cannot figure out, do I need a zoom lens? Do I need to zoom in, zoom out? I can't figure out how to get you to see the size of the waves. They aren't huge. They really aren't that big. But, I mean, they're bigger than me. Like, they come up above my eye level. But on camera, it looks like nothing. So, you'll just have to take my word for it, I guess. I mean, I guess you can see the speed, right? We're slowing down our 35,000 pound boat by a third of its speed going up these hills. That's a lot of momentum. So, that gives you some sort of reference. I don't know if we ever filmed it or talked about it, but last night we had the fishing lines out with those ballyhoos, and at like 1:30 in the morning, Jade woke me up and was like, "Hey, we've got a huge fish." And so we got all tethered up, life jackets, and started reeling this thing in, and we were super stoked for this, she was like, "Oh, big old tuna." And we started reeling it in, and I'll show you what it was. That's it. Somebody else's fishing line and a sponge and a float. Nothing. No fish. 0 for 2 on those ballyhoos. It's a shame. I figured I'd give you another update. It's been, how long has it been since we had the autopilot issue? That was pretty early on, I think. We've had no issues. I put in the 2-stroke motor oil in it whenever I said I did, whatever day that was. And it has been perfect ever since. It has been running super quiet. I've been checking it for heat and for leaks every now and then, and it's been perfect. The fluid has kind of all become the same color now. I think as it's compressed and moved back and forth and mixed, it's all a uniform color. No milking, no frothing, and the pump seems to love it. It seems to be running super happy, and I'm very, very pleased. And I haven't found any more leaks. I've been checking it, and the fluid has been staying the same. So right now, it seems like it really was just that cylinder had come unscrewed, and now it's happy. Still gonna do a flush and replace the seals that I can. Whoa! Every once in a while we get a big wave that just picks the boat up like that. Anyways, yeah, I'll still do some maintenance and flush and everything on it when we have the availability to do it, but I'm very happy with how happy it is and how great it's been doing. It's been doing phenomenal. Thank goodness.
Just give her tomato sauce.
Oh,
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
That was a lot of
all
work.
that dancing.
Yeah, I'm destroyed. I'm like trying to find the ingredients and I keep forgetting what I'm looking for.
Did you look in the small pantry down here?
No.
That would be my guess if there is any.
Okay.
Jade, how you doing?
I was pretty seasick. I feel like I'm feeling a lot better now.
Good. Penny, how you doing?
You were telling stories about fishing,
Oh.
and so I've been holding her here so she doesn't jump off the bat.
I appreciate
She's
that.
super excited about it.
Yes.
She's like, fish, tuna, giant fish, reel it in. She like all those words. She knows.
Like I know all of those.
She's
I'll
like, those
help.
are my favorite words.
I don't have thumbs, but I'll help.
Goodness, girl.
She's looking out the companionway. Flying fish? I see one.
She loves them. She lives the fishing. She really does.
What do you think about doing a Q&A?
I think a Q&A is a very good idea. Oh yeah, I haven't had any water. Need some water.
My arm is dead.
I'm
thinking maybe some food, but we have none. For everybody who said we were gonna starve, you were right.
You're right. We're dead.
'Cause there's no
All we
tomato
have is
sauce.
left is this one marshmallow, and Jade can't even eat it.
It's like when you're growing up and your parents only buy ingredients. We're left with only.
There's no food in this house.
Yeah, exactly.
We've only got ingredients now. We've not got food.
What about like smoothies?
Yeah.
With some protein powder in it
And
from your workouts. Do we have yogurt left?
I don't think so.
The sadness.
Orange juice.
That
Okay.
I don't think that would go in a smoothie, but
Oranges go in smoothies. Would be like a sorbet.
Will you make us a smoothie?
sure.
I can make it.
No, you can't. You're dead.
No, I can make it.
Debatable.
I think she likes it.
Okay, we're gonna try and do a Q&A before it gets dark, but that's only gonna happen if we're able to get food in ourselves. There you go. We could be drinking smoothies, and Jade, you could be using your smile straw.
You still have that?
Yeah, I think it's still in there.
Brett and I were drinking out of straws every single day. And out of those cups we had, we just were drinking out of straws every single day.
Yeah.
And then at
Started
some
to get
point,
limes?
it occurred to me that we were going to get like smoker lines
Yeah.
because we were all day drinking out of it.
Right.
So I told my mom, and I was like, so we're not drinking out of straws anymore. And so for Christmas, it was last year,
Should I use smile straws?
do you still have it?
Yes.
So now,
How does that work?
you can put it in your mouth and drink out of the straw without, no wrinkles.
Very cool.
I don't think anybody's ever used it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever
When I
seen.
drink out of a straw, I go like this anyway.
I mean, that'll give you interesting wrinkles. So this thing happens to me all the time, my whole life, and I don't know if it happens to anybody else. But as soon as I'm okay, so for example, Brett and I will go out on a date. We'll spend the whole day on the town. And I don't miss the dogs the entire time until we're driving home. And once we're driving home and we're like now on the way to see them, I'm like, I miss the dogs so much. I'm so excited to see them. I can travel away and like be far away from my family and I just go about my life. But like when I'm on the plane to go home to see my family, I miss my family and I just want to be with them so badly. It's like when I get in the mindset now I'm going there, then I think about that. And I feel like now that we're almost to the Azores and we're almost there, I'm like, I miss land.
Yeah.
I haven't missed
I think it's the
land.
same thing as like when you need to go to the bathroom. Like you're fine until you get up to go to the bathroom, and then as you're walking to the bathroom, you need to go really bad.
That's a good,
I think it's the same.
comparative.
I feel like that's a terrible comparison. I feel like you just ruined the sentimentality of it.
Oh.
I was gonna say that though before you even made the connection. I feel that way too. Like,
About the
I-
bathroom?
no.
Oh.
About the Azores, like the whole time I'm like, oh, kind of sad, like the trip's ending. But now
You
that
said that like 2 days ago.
yeah, but now that it's close, I'm like, oh, I'm actually really excited to get there because it's happening now.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
think
like,
that's
I'm
just
starting to
very
miss
like
land.
being. I think it's very much because like you live in the present.
Yeah. You're excited about what's happening right now. Get it.
Didn't do anything. We need some smoothies for this Q&A. We need a fancy name for this smoothie Q&A.
Oh, yeah.
Scrumptious?
Yes.
Because it's
It
mostly orange juice.
It tastes like with the vanilla and the orange juice. It tastes like a creamsicle.
Oh my goodness.
Yum. Somehow I ended up being the one with 2 slices.
A pizza?
Somebody did not slice a multiple of 3.
What can I say? I'm a professional.
And I'm starving. I needed that 3rd slice.
Well, I just made you some nice cream.
So,
basically.
Basically, yeah.
So excited about this.
Are we all in frame?
Sweet.
Oh, we don't have to be that close.
I mean, unless we want the warmth. Like freezing.
But
with this-
can we? Can we be
Yes.
that close, Ayana?
Smoothie session Q&A.
We're gonna try and eat politely. Well, yeah.
Okay, so we asked on Instagram yesterday for a bunch of questions, and we did not answer even like a fraction of them on yesterday's Q&A. So
Because we posted it like 2 minutes prior to doing the Q&A.
And we definitely did answer a fraction of them.
That's okay. All right.
But we have more now.
We're going to answer more questions. Go follow us on Instagram. We're almost at 50,000 followers on Instagram. We're like 300 away. So if you hurry, you could be one of our first 50,000 Instagram followers. I don't know if you care, but
Pretty sure you get like a badge for that.
an emotional badge.
Emotional badge.
Yeah. And Ayana just hit 10K.
Yeah, so if you want to be first part of my 20K,
Pirate Princess
drop a
Chronicles.
follow.
Pirate Princess Chronicles. Expedition Evans. Question number 1.
2 weeks at sea, Oz. Have you guys had any serious arguments?
Brett and I had one big argument.
We had one big one.
And by big, I wouldn't even classify it as big.
It was big for us.
It was big for us, yeah. We don't argue a lot. Well, we don't fight a lot. I feel like we usually resolve it without it needing to be a fight.
Yeah.
But I feel like we needed the fight to get to to resolve
The
it.
root of the like what's actually going on. Yeah.
Yeah, which was basically just that we were both sleep deprived.
Yep.
You haven't fought with either of us.
I don't think so.
That's good.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're not over yet.
Got a few more days.
By the way, we are sailing right now at like 8 knots, so if it's a little hard to understand us, sorry. But we are sailing really fast right now. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily wants to know, do either of you struggle with anxiety, and is it worse on a long passage or during storms? I don't think I ever struggled with anxiety before owning a boat. I feel like now that we're sailing, I do have much higher levels of stress. I don't know if I would go so far as to classify my stress as anxiety, though. I feel anxieties, but I don't think I would get like anxiety badge. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
But I definitely do feel a lot more stress.
But you've started having like morning anxiety.
I was having a lot of that when our very first season sailing. I had a lot of morning anxiety. We were sailing in the Bahamas during hurricane season, so I feel like that's kind of granted. There's just a lot more to worry about. Anybody else?
No.
No. Yeah, I feel like it's a rational level of stress. So I don't think it's.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with no. Now that we talked through that one.
How much gas have we used?
We motored for
Probably
an
like
hour today.
yeah.
So I think we've motored a total of 2 hours and about a gallon an hour because we were motoring pretty easily. So 2 gallons of diesel plus the generator. The generator is diesel as well. I don't know how many hours we have on that.
Probably another 2 gallons.
No, more than that because we've ran it like every other day roughly. So we probably run it 7 times for.
So we need to put like the math calculation.
Yeah, hey, let's do that. Okay,
Yeah.
7 times, 4 hours each time probably, at half gallon an hour.
So 2 gallons.
So
each time
14
times
gallons?
14 gallons plus
Roughly?
2 gallons of motoring, so
Yeah,
you use
so
16
15,
gallons.
16 gallons of diesel.
And what about propane?
Not that much.
I don't know. I think we've probably gone through 1 bottle of propane, but honestly, probably not.
Have you
So the bottles, each bottle of propane usually lasts us about 6 weeks, is how it goes. And so 1 bottle was already nearly empty when we started, which is why it ran out, but also why we weren't worried because the other bottle should last us another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
However, we've been baking more than normal, so I do feel like we are going through propane a little faster.
Yeah, but we baked a lot before we left. Like we baked all that bread and all that. That was on the old bottle, so I think that's why that one kind of.
We don't have a gauge though, so we don't know. We don't know how much propane we have until we're out of propane.
And then we
Is
know.
there a gauge on the bottle?
There's a pressure gauge, but I don't think that really. I don't know.
What kind of boat are you looking for, Ayana?
So I'm looking for a monohull. Definitely a monohull. 45 to 50 foot. I want something with either 2-master or 3-cabin layout. Like blue water would be nice, but probably a production cruiser. Something like big enough to host family and friends. A sloop rig. Other than that, like pretty open.
Do you have a brand preference?
I was gonna say a Dufault would be great, or Dufour.
That's the one. That's your dream.
That's my dream
Yeah.
boat. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna see what's out there. Pretty open. See what's available. Yeah, if anybody's selling a boat and wants to,
What price range are you looking for?
That's tough. So if I was gonna do, it depends on how I was gonna do it. If I was gonna buy cash, then I would probably look on the lower end, like 50 to 70K. And if I was gonna go any higher than that, I would have to work out some kind of loan or what did you call it?
Like owner financing.
Owner financing.
Yeah, if there's anybody who could do an owner carry, Ayana's good for the money. She just doesn't have it all right now. Or if there's anybody who wants a small investment opportunity to do a personal line of credit, if you're that person, send Ayana a message. Cause
Yeah, let me know.
yeah, it's really actually super hard to get a loan for a boat. It's basically impossible to get a loan for a boat, especially as a young person. Even if you make enough money and you're good for the loan, it's institutions don't want to loan money for purchasing boats. That's just how it goes.
Unless you have a house.
Unless
and
you
lot
have a
of
house.
credit.
So Brett and I, we tried to get a loan for our boat, and we were told no by everybody. And finally, one of the loan companies, the lenders, was like, "Look, go buy a house, have a house for a year, come back to us in 13 months once you've shown that you can pay your mortgage, and then we'll loan you the money for a boat." We're like, "But then we'll have a mortgage as well as the boat." And they're like, "Yeah, but like that's how it works." So
Trap.
yeah, it's all like a game. So for people, younger people who don't own a house, even if we can pay for the loan, it's really hard to find one unless you have like a relative you can loan money from, or like if you can find an owner carry. Owner carry boats, it's not super common, but it is. Like,
Explain what owner carry is.
oh, that's where the owner's selling you the boat and you give them a chunk, like your down payment, and then you make payments to the current owner of the boat. And so you pay them for the boat over a period of time, and that's usually just determined by the seller. And that usually only happens if the seller knows the person.
Yeah.
But or personal lines of credit. A lot of the young people that we know, we won't name names, but a lot of them have a relative or like a family friend. I mean, Raph talked about it in his video. Raph had a family friend who was able to give him a hard money loan, and quite a few other young people who have cruising boats, they've gotten a loan from family members to pay back over time.
Yeah.
And then Brett and I, we paid cash for most of ours, but a portion of our original purchase price, we were actually able to pull out a personal loan from SoFi.
Yeah, just like an unsecured personal loan.
With a huge interest rate.
Yep, and paid it off really fast because
Yeah, because I had a huge
that was a big interest rate.
Yeah.
Smart. But yeah, so if anyone has a boat that they're selling, send me a DM. When you guys were staying on those mooring balls in Fort Lauderdale, was there a fee? Should we talk about that or no?
Yeah, that's fine.
So at the time, there was no fee because the mooring balls were kind of in limbo because the city used to own the marina, and that marina had those mooring balls. And when they sold the marina to, I can't remember what the company is, when the company bought it, the company didn't want the mooring balls. And the city didn't want the mooring balls. And so there were just kind of some unmaintained mooring balls sitting there.
They were abandoned.
They were essentially abandoned. And people kind of came and went on them and used them. And then when one opened up, we had someone else that came and told us, hey, you should come use this. So we went and used it. And then when another one opened up, we told these guys and then Spirit Animal. And so then they kind of ended up there. And they were just kind of, they were unmaintained.
Yeah, it was an
They were
at your
just-
own risk
exactly.
type of situation for sure.
And Brett was a trooper, and he dove all the mooring balls for everybody in the neighborhood. He dove our Spirit Animals and Naidos and
Yep.
made sure everybody's was good. But tell your story.
Yeah,
so hang on, before we move
Yeah, go
on.
ahead.
So that's how it was. That is not the case anymore. The city has now decided they want those mooring balls, and they've reinstalled more.
But get this, the mooring balls they've installed, a ton of them have broken.
Really?
Brand new ones.
Yep.
But,
There's
okay.
like 10 or
Yeah,
15
they put in a
there
bunch.
now.
But anyways, yeah. So your mooring ball though.
Yeah, so we were on the mooring balls for like, what, 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Nothing had ever happened. And then Dre and I had left to cross the Bahamas, and Raph and Sasha were the last ones there. And someone picked up our same ball the next day, and I guess broke off and almost rammed into Spirit Animal. And I mean, what are the odds that we were on it for 8 months? We weathered storms.
Big storms.
Yeah. And nothing had ever happened. And then the night that we left, somebody grabbed it and broke off the next day.
Wild.
Crazy.
that was a fun story.
Yeah.
It's Sasha and Raph's story, but it was fun.
I think it was your volleyball though.
Yeah, but so they tell the story way better, but it was during a
story.
lightning storm. So when they were dealing with the boat that was bumping into them, they were like trying to grab onto the rails, and everyone was getting electrocuted.
Oh my
Did you
god.
guys know about
I did
this?
not know
I
that one.
It
heard
was,
about
like,
that.
the
You're
most
right. I forgot about
insane
that.
Story.
Wow.
And yeah, we'll have to. I think they talk about it in a video. I'm not sure, but
That's wild.
if you ever
Crazy.
see Raph and Sasha, ask them to tell you that story.
Wild.
I'm pretty sure Sasha fell in the water. I didn't hear that either. She
What?
fell in the water.
I feel like Raph and Sasha give Brett and I like soft stories. Like when they tell stories, it wasn't nearly as risky, and everybody was wearing their life jacket.
I think like Sasha just
We get this story they
happened-
tell their parents.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Sasha just happened to be peeking her head out of the companionway, luckily, and she saw the boat coming towards them, because they're really not, I mean, how close were we on the mooring balls? Like,
Oh, you guys were like, what, 10 feet? You like high-fived up your stern.
Yeah,
At one point their boats had gotten becalmed and they were stern to stern,
right.
and you probably could have like jumped.
Yeah, so like the time that she had to notice and react, like very small. So she notices and tries to jump off the sugar scoop into the dinghy to like move the boat with the dinghy, and she misses the dinghy because she's
What?
so frantic, I think, and she falls in the water.
Well, it was stormy, so it's probably wavy.
I think.
Oh
And then
my
Raph,
gosh.
of course, Raph grabbing the camera, I think. they'll tell this better. I wasn't there, but basically she tried to get out and grab the lifelines, and she's wet, and she gets shocked. And so she's scared to grab this other boat. And to put the cherry on top of everything, these people didn't speak English. So they're trying to grab the lifelines, and she's trying to tell them not to grab the lifelines because they're gonna get shocked.
But they don't know what she's saying, so they're just like,
Yeah, no, don't touch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
vicious.
When they tell that
it's a great
story,
story.
I want to watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is your phone gonna die? We gotta hurry.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die. Brett, do you miss flying?
Yes.
Okay. Are there certain responsibilities on the boat that you guys don't share? I would probably go with no.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that we do more of. Like, I generally do, oil changes and electrical and water maker. Like, I generally do the system stuff. But you'll do it. Like,
Yeah, they have done it.
yeah. Ooh. I do dishes, you do laundry.
Yeah, that's it. That's their one thing. I always do, well, that's not
Again, not even an always. Yeah,
But
usually.
my responsibility, I'm in charge of making sure laundry is washed and folded and put away. Brett's in charge of making sure the dishes are washed. I think that's our
Usually.
only division of labor that's
Yeah.
like a clear line. Everything else we just both make sure it's all done.
Yeah,
But you definitely do, like, we'll lean into certain things more.
yeah. for
We
sure.
have like divisions of tasks with our editing, but that's different. Next.
I vacuum.
Yeah, yeah, Brett always does vacuuming. And I usually do the baths. If we're gonna wash the dogs with soap, I do that every time.
Most of the time.
What is your workout program? We have a reel coming soon.
For the most part, we don't have one.
How
We
do you
just work
get
out occasionally.
packages? We've only ever had something mailed to us once, and it was the Starlink, and it was awful.
Horrendous.
I was only 3 days late, though. It really wasn't that bad. So in that case, we had it sent directly to the customs office. But usually, all of our packages come in luggage from my mom or my sister.
Or siblings, yeah.
Yeah, we have, when somebody comes to visit, and Ayana, when she came out, she brought like a whole suitcase full of stuff. What went into your decision to choose a mono over a cat? So monohull versus a catamaran. This is a monohull. What we currently have, a catamaran has 2 holes in the nets, for those who are unfamiliar, and money, 100%. Catamarans are significantly more expensive, and we cannot afford one.
Yep. That's the main reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, any catamaran that we could have afforded was either way too small and or way too old.
Yeah, for
So,
preferences.
Yeah. Yeah, for what
Now
we wanted.
having a monohull though, would you switch if you had the opportunity?
I've never been on one.
We've
Like,
never
I've been
sailed-
on one, but I've never sailed one.
Yeah, we never sailed a cat, so I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I really love monohulls because I feel like the living space is so open inside, whereas catamarans, typically the living space is divided. So you've got like a lot of small sections, whereas a monohull has one big section, and I do like that a lot.
Yeah. I think that I was open to it until I sailed on a catamaran.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very different motion when sailing.
you didn't like it.
I got seasick,
Oh,
and I've never been seasick.
right.
But it was a smaller cat, so maybe it would be different if it was bigger.
How big was it?
39 leopard.
Yeah, but still, a 39 has more living space than our boat. Probably. Yeah.
I definitely like the concept of the monohull for living space.
I think the only thing I wish that I like about the catamarans is I like the lot of the living space is above the water, so you can look out.
Yeah, I do like that. Pilot house would be so nice.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
yeah, like a pilot house or a deck saloon, I feel like would be the perfect way to have that sort of benefit in a monohull.
Okay, this is a good one. Time for a full inventory update. Fuel, food, water, miles, averages. Okay, so how many miles have we done so far?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or how
I know
much
we have
in
300
total?
left.
With
Um,
300
it will
it
be
was
about-
2,000.
It'll be closer to 2100 because we did some pretty big ups and downs. So we're kind of probably going to end up at about 2100, and I think we have 300 left. So
What would you say our
we're at
average
1800?
sailing cruising speed was?
average, probably like 5.
Yeah, pretty slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've hit 10, but we've also done 3.
3 for several days. So yeah, I would say we're probably averaging around 5.
We've done a lot more 3 than we've done 10.
Yeah.
We've
Water?
had light winds.
Water, we have gone. I think we've run the water maker 3 times.
And filled the
maybe
tank
4
completely?
times. The forward tank. So if we say, I can't remember how big that forward tank is, but if we say I think it's 75 gallons. So 75 gallons times 3.
Times 3?
So what is that? 225? Maybe 250 gallons of water. And then we already talked about the diesel. We use about 15 gallons of diesel. And yeah. We used last month we ended up using half a terabyte of data.
Wow.
That's an important one.
Yeah, if you're wondering, tracking on Starlink, we used 500 gigabytes.
Okay, my phone just died, but the last question was how does your education, that was Brett's specific education, which was aviation, and what's your whole degree name? It's like 7 words. Bachelor's of Science.
Aeronautical Management Technology, I think is what it was.
something like
I have a
that.
degree in being a pilot. Is basically what my degree is. I don't know. I think. I mean, just getting that degree, we take classes in mechanics and engines and all sorts of stuff, but also in weather and routing and I don't know. So a lot of things.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but Brett actually originally went to school to be an aerospace engineer. He got almost through all of the
I did a lot of it.
like years and years of schooling to be an aerospace engineer, and then finally he's going into his last year and was like, I'm thinking I like engineering as a hobby, and I'm gonna fly instead. And then he switched and went back to, yeah, we had a lot of students there. But Brett has a huge background in engineering as well as aviation, and I don't know how much of it's your education or just your mind in general. Like Brett, when he was, how old were you?
I don't know.
2?
Yeah, the family story is that when I was like a toddler, my mom found me taking the oven door off with a screwdriver.
Like he couldn't talk yet,
Yeah.
but
So-
he was disassembling things with a screwdriver.
And that's been my whole life, is just taking stuff apart and breaking stuff and fixing it, or trying to fix it at least.
Figure it out.
Well, we figured it out. So,
You're a genius prodigy.
no, definitely not a genius prodigy, but I like tinkering and fixing stuff and breaking stuff. And
You're very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
any other questions?
A
We
lot
can move
of
on
them-
off that.
You don't want to talk about yourself?
No, makes you uncomfortable.
How long do you guys think you'll be traveling together? Will you join Eva as a long-term permanent crew member? Has this been proposed, or has the idea risen? I'm gonna say no. Love you guys, but
Wow.
Wow, you can swim home.
1700
no.
nautical miles.
I mean, I think I'd rather be buddy boating with you guys.
For sure.
Yeah, that's
and we
what it is.
and we love you, but we'd rather that too.
Yeah, for sure.
She needs
But as long as you come over and like cook every once in a while.
Good deal.
Ayana is so ready to be living her own story and to have her own boat and like her own home that's hers.
Yes.
Like it's fun for her to be hanging out with us. Like at the end of the day, she's living on our boat.
Yeah.
She needs to have her boat.
Yeah. Well said.
So timeline, there isn't a hard one.
Oh yeah,
It's
no.
just kind of when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you fish more often? We try.
We've had lures in the water most of the time.
We're not
Whether or
very-
not those lures had bait on them or lures on them is questionable. But there's been lines in the water.
And sometimes depending on our mood too, because it's a lot of work to bring in a fish and then to like fillet it and clean up. It's a big mess.
It is.
It's a commitment, and I hate that part. So for me, like, I have to really, really want a fish to be like, let's put lures out.
Are you scared sometimes when you're in the middle of the ocean, and what does it feel like?
I don't think I've ever been scared on this trip.
Me neither.
Yeah, the reality is like the whole like in the middle of the ocean concept hasn't ever really hit. Like that doesn't really mean anything because when we were in the Bahamas, for example, I guess there were people closer that could help us if something happened, but it felt the same as right now.
Yeah, because once you're 5 miles offshore, 5 to 10 miles offshore, you can't see land.
Yeah, it feels the same as being 500.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
I got a little freaked when we were like right in the middle.
I mean, I think if something detrimental were to happen to the boat or to one of us, then it would feel different.
I was
For sure.
very uncomfortable when my crewmates were trying to touch jellyfish. I thought that was a poor decision. 1,000 miles from land.
And you were right, because it happens to be the only jellyfish in the world that had stinging cells on its
What are the odds?
dome. What are the odds?
Freaking George.
Yeah, no, I think that we're all super capable and comfortable, and
nothing went wrong. If something were to break on the boat, we started taking on water, then we'd start feeling afraid.
True.
But I don't think we were feeling like preemptive fear.
yeah, go.
Rapid fire.
What's been the most frustrating part of the crossing for each of you?
I was just feeling tired. I think it's been the most frustrating. It just like, even when it was super calm, like I felt like I slept, but I never felt rested all the way. I think that's probably been the most frustrating thing for me. It's like I have had a hard time the past few days feeling all the way awake.
I was feeling a little frustrated. I don't know if that's the right word, but I was feeling remorseful that we don't have a downwind sail or a light wind sail. When we were sailing downwind in like, I know we were in like 3 knots and the head sail was luffing a lot because it's too heavy. It's not the right sail for those conditions. I was feeling a little remorseful that we don't have one of those.
And why don't we have one of those?
Because they're expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing. The head sail luffing is
Yeah.
probably the most annoying thing that has happened on this entire passage.
That was pretty obnoxious.
What's been an unexpected highlight?
The weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Ooh, those giant bioluminescence last night. So
Yes.
usually, okay, so let me describe bioluminescence for you since you can't ever see it on video. We don't have a camera that can capture that. But usually it's like little flecks of like dust, like pixie dust or like little grains of rice size. Like just,
They ever so slightly sparkle. Like,
yeah, and it's tons of little dots, little lights. But last night there were jellyfish, like some of them as big as a melon, that were coming under the boat and getting agitated enough to cause them to light up. And so we would have these big balls of just glowing light,
glowing orbs, just
like
like,
Yeah.
5 feet under the water.
like some of them were like basketball size.
Yeah.
It was
Like
probably
coming
one
out
of
the back of the boat. It's
yeah,
like-
top experiences I've seen with
Yeah,
my eyes.
that was magical.
that was pretty cool.
very, very good.
that was a good one.
And the huge moon. We had the super moon while we were out here, so our night skies were just bright. We could see the entire horizon. I loved that.
That was really good. Yeah, just all the sunsets and sunrises have just been awesome.
yeah.
Even this one right now. Can you guys? I don't know if you can see that.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Look at that. We've seen that almost every night.
Yeah, the weather's been really great. There was a couple nights and days where the waves picked up in the beginning.
Yeah.
We were in the current.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a highlight for me because I wasn't sure how it would take to the bigger seas because I've never done an ocean crossing before, so I was expecting
Oh yeah.
to be fearful once I saw waves sizes that I'd never seen before. But I really just got excited because I wasn't afraid, and it was almost like a new achievement for me. And
Nice.
it was
New
really
level
cool.
unlocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you didn't know how you were gonna respond,
Yeah.
and then like you had a good response. You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly. That was cool.
That is cool.
What's the biggest luxury item you miss having? We have a lot of luxury.
I
on
would say
this boat.
honestly, like you could say, oh, hot showers, but we almost always have hot showers, or long showers. We pretty much always have long showers, like that
Yeah, no.
long enough. Like
We have a lot of creature comfort.
maybe a dryer.
That would be nice.
But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you gotta pick something,
Like a clothes dryer.
Like a
would be
clothes
great.
dryer.
Front loading fridge.
which we had. But yeah, it's like ice maker, blender, extra fridge, laundry, hot showers, TV,
We have a lot.
movie theater.
Yeah, I don't know.
What don't we have?
Yeah, we pretty much have.
Before we lived on the
AC.
boat.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just answering this question on one of the Instagram questions. Part of what we did to save up for the boat is that Brett and I lived in a broken down van for years, and it had nothing. We were going to the bathroom in a bucket for years, so that we could save up money to buy the boat. And we were roughing it, and we couldn't afford to landscape, so we were just literally walking through mud. We would walk to our car with plastic bags on our feet and holding our shoes because we had to go to work and didn't want to show up
Covered in mud.
covered in mud. It was rough. We were really camping. Like it was.
Yeah, that was pretty close to camping.
It was not glorious. So when we got the boat, we installed all the creature comforts. We have had our roughing it phase, and we
Yeah.
wanted this to just be really comfortable. And I have no regrets about that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that this is like camping, but this is your home, and you guys have built it as such.
Yeah.
All the comforts, which is great.
Yeah, very much more like an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one. What's your favorite watch shift?
Oh.
My favorite sunrise, for sure.
So we generally do like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and then we'll do 4 hours from there. So it'll be like 9 to 1 or 2, 2 to like 5-ish, and then 5 to
Yeah.
7, 8. What would you say?
I don't know what my favorite one is. Either sunrise or sunset. I really don't like the middle one. Okay.
Okay, more rapid fire.
Okay.
What do you do with all your trash on board? Do you have a trash compactor?
We have trash compactor bags because they're really tough and they're really good for long-term like trash storage. We have filled up one normal kitchen bag, trash bag, so far, of trash.
And we haven't really packed it down at all. It's
Definitely
like
not
mostly
compactor.
filled.
Yeah.
We got rid of a lot. Like we took all the plastic and cardboard off of everything pretty much in the kitchen. We
Yep.
use reusable containers. So
Yeah, we threw away as much trash as we could before we left, because Bermuda had the best trash cans. I will talk about those for days.
Yep.
Free trash for cruisers. It was great.
So yeah, so we've done really good with trash.
favorite sport besides sailing?
Spike ball.
Trail running.
What about rock
Yeah, definitely.
climbing?
Rock
Oh,
climbing.
yeah.
Guys?
Right. Rock climbing.
Rock climbing.
Climbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely rock climbing. Thanks for that
Look
one.
at the pink clouds, guys. Look at that over here.
Oh, cool.
It's like pink cotton candy clouds.
Yeah. Wait, we should show everybody those. Pretty.
Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite sport to play, boxing. Favorite sport to watch, probably like dance. I like watching dance.
Like what kind of dance? I'm talking like ballet.
Any kind of dance.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Love a good live performance. Best
Sorry.
place you've ever been scuba diving or free
I've
diving.
never been scuba diving. I was scuba diving once in my high school sweetheart's backyard swimming pool. That is the extent of my scuba diving.
But you've done a lot of free diving
Tons of free diving. Yeah, definitely.
in the Bahamas mostly, right?
Yeah, I think Hawaii was prettier though for free diving. I think that's the best place I've free dove. But I wasn't nearly as good back then. Bahamas is the bulk of my free diving experience.
Yeah. Costa Rica is the bulk of my scuba diving experience, and that's definitely the best place I've been scuba diving.
I think I've only been scuba diving in Hawaii, except for like a lake in Arizona once for like certification.
You went in one of the lakes?
Yeah, we went. I think Lake Mead. I
Okay.
think is where we did the certification.
Lakes in Arizona have zero
Oh no, yeah.
visibility.
You couldn't
you
see.
can't even see your hand.
Yeah, that was the problem. Was like we went down with it and they were like, "Don't go anywhere.
Oh, man.
If you get lost, just good
Those
luck."
lakes are freaky. Like
Yeah.
they don't have sharks, but they probably
They
do.
probably do.
Yeah, when you're in there. Next.
Is it possible for one person to live on a sailing yacht when to sleep during crossings?
There's a lot of people. We know a lot of people that single hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a good friend Marcelo that he single handed down to Guatemala and
I mean, Lauren
came to the
single-hands.
Bahamas. Yeah, she often has help like crew, but
But when you're
I think
single,
most of the time she's sailing by herself though.
yeah, when you're single-handing on a crossing though, generally I think people will set like 15-minute timers and get their sleep in increments like that.
Yeah, so you have the autopilot going and you have your radar, and so it just really depends on the sailor and how much they trust their autopilot system, and so they just sleep for a little while.
Yeah, because it takes a while for boats to get close to each other.
For sure.
Yeah, when you look around, you've got, 5 miles? You can see 5 miles in every direction. And especially when it's calm, like, you know when a boat's coming for hours in advance.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that real quick, because a lot of people have commented about how that container ship was really close to us and how did we not see it come. We did see it coming,
Yes.
and that's why we did something about it.
Yeah,
So we knew
I was in the cockpit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was watching it the whole time. Then when they got close enough to be like, okay, well, if they get any closer, like, then we should move.
Yeah.
And
So,
so we moved.
That's when it
exactly.
I was asleep.
Yep.
I didn't see it till it was past us.
Yeah, I think you were both napping.
Yeah, we
yeah.
were both asleep. Yeah, and then you woke me up and were like, hey, just so you know, like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I came out and I tried calling them on the radio. They didn't answer. And then she's like, all right, we'll just get out of their way.
Somebody commented, I don't think it's real, but I want it to be real. Somebody commented and said, hey, sorry I got so close. I was just trying to match with Ayana. So for those of you guys who don't know, on like Tinder, on dating apps, you match with people who are in your vicinity based on your location. So somebody was commenting saying that they were the captain of the ship and they were intentionally coming close.
To try and be in her vicinity, to try and match with.
Because they would be the only ones in the vicinity, so they could match.
Could you imagine though if she like swiped
I
no?
want
Like,
that.
like, oh.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of effort.
I know.
I want that to be a true story. So I think that's headcanon for me.
Unfortunately, I'm not on any dating apps, so nobody trying to get close to the boat with their boat. Please don't run us over.
Right.
Not worth it. How romantic.
How romantic. That's like next level Tinder dating.
Is that the end?
I think so.
Yeah? Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that could be the end.
Well, thanks for watching the sunset with us.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Do you have any more questions?
No more questions. Okay, this was day 16.
The end of day 16?
We are less than 48 hours from land ho.
Probably. Oh, definitely from seeing land.
What do you guys think we should do when we get there?
Try and walk in a straight line.
Yes, definitely that.
We have to paint a mural. It's a tradition. All the boats that come into Horta have to paint.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have asked where we're going. We're going to Horta. That's where we're going.
Wait,
What if there's no space on the wall?
Is that the wall that Riley and Elena painted on?
Probably.
You like paint your logo?
It's like it's
on
tradition. Like if you
Yeah,
go to
you have
Horta,
to
you
do
have
it.
to.
I
Yeah.
think they did that in
So
one
what
of their
happens if
episodes.
there's no space? I don't want to paint over somebody else's. What's the custom?
I don't know. I think you might be like concerned about a problem that isn't a problem. But we'll see.
But I don't have anxiety.
Right. But what if it washes off?
Good night.
Can we crack a couple of raw eggs in there for you?
It's really hard not to get it all over my face with the waves.
Ayana was like, here, let me feed this to you. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get covered in smoothie.
Nailed it.
Well done.
Now I gotta make chili. I was hoping you wouldn't find it.
She actually found it and hid it way in the back, so you'd have to dig to try and find it.
Oh well, we can't have chili.
Oh,
Shut.
bummer.
I'm just kidding. I am a little tired.
Okay, I will make us chili.
I'll walk you through it.
While in a laying position.
Okay.
We might need to buy all new camera batteries. These batteries are only lasting like 10 minutes.
Should we order some and have my mom bring them out? Or we can,
Maybe, yeah.
Or we can just get
Didn't
them.
we just buy some? I feel like we just
No,
bought
we
some.
did not. Not Canon. We
Hmm.
bought a bunch of GoPro ones.
Ah,
And they're all pretty much dead too.
man.
But Europe is not hot, right? Everybody's gonna be like, guys, it's really warm.
But also, Europe probably sells Canons.
I don't know if we can get it in the Azores. Maybe.
Let's go.
Olive oil. Throw the beans in there.
This dinner is directed by Ayana, performed by Jade.
It's like chili. She's like, and then you're gonna put beans in it. I'm like, all right. Glad we have the same recipe.
Yeah, you really don't need my help. I'm just trying to pretend I'm doing something. We cooked a spork.
We're running low on ingredients, so Ayana added a spork apparently.
No.
That was Jade.
Oh.
This is me.
Jade, you're cooking my spork?
That wasn't in the recipe. You said you got it though.
I'm just so ready to get rid of the spork.
Don't you dare.
So jealous of it. I want to say what you say. Say it again.
I feel like you need to keep that for when you guys have Boston Market.
When I grew up, the Boston Market, the closest Boston Market, for those of you who don't know, it's like a
Disgusting.
slow
Like a
fast
comfy
food. Yeah.
Like a what is that
And the
called?
mac and
Comfort food.
cheese and the cinnamon apples. This is a core memory of my childhood. I loved Boston Market, and the closest one was like half an hour away, so it was a special treat when we got it. But yeah, it comes with a spork. That is such a unique childhood memory.
That we both have again.
Once again. It's probably not that unique, but it's very like specific. It's
Yeah,
an
drop
oddly.
a comment if sporks remind you of Boston Market.
Yeah, can you taste the cinnamon apple? Can you taste
You know what
the mac
Boston
and
Market reminds
cheese?
me of?
What?
Cockroaches.
Ew.
Because
You're done. Don't ruin our
I think
show.
I've eaten there like twice, and the last time I were there, I was a kid. We went and they had like the display that you could see everything, and there were cockroaches that ran across. You're like,
Is that why you're always like? Oh,
we're
that's
not eating there.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Gross. I
Are
didn't
they
go to.
common in Arizona?
No.
I never saw a cockroach in my life living in the Northeast. Ever.
Yeah, no, cockroaches are not
Not.
a good thing.
They're not there that common in Arizona. So yeah, that's really gross.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to hear that.
Me either. He's just
Or-
trying to ruin our childhood.
I am.
And the meal.
Oh, there's no
Also-
cockroaches in this. Jade, do you want cream cheese?
Yes.
Here, I